Hello, this is Father Piderit, and I will be joined by Florian Romero, Payan to some of you. And this is about our trip to Europe, the main purpose of which was to celebrate my 51st anniversary of my ordination in Frankfurt, Germany. It's the 51st because it was planned that we would go last year, the 50th, but because of COVID, that was still not possible. Our first place that we visited was Frankfurt, which indeed is the place where I was ordained. And I was ordained in the cathedral that you can see. That is the high altar, and they allowed me to celebrate my Mass, anniversary Mass, at the high altar. Actually, my ordination was not at the high altar, so it was a privilege to be able to be at the high altar with the lovely group of people that we had with us. It's a 14th century cathedral and very impressive, nicely renovated, actually even more beautiful than when I was ordained there. And we had, the day before, we had a very nice tour of the cathedral, so we had a sense of it when I celebrated the Sunday Mass in the cathedral church. I made it official by signing the book in the back of the church. The day before, we went over to visit the seminary where I had studied for 3 years. I studied my theology there. And upon entering the seminary building, one of the people we met was Michael Siebenich. He's interesting because Cardinal Bergoglio, he wasn't even a cardinal yet, so Pope Francis, when he was still a Jesuit priest, he went to Germany and he stayed at the seminary where I was for 3 months. He didn't register any courses, he didn't know German, but he did speak a lot with this Michael Siebenich. They had conversations for about 3 months, and then Father Bergoglio at that point returned to Buenos Aires and continued his ministry down there. Frankfurt is a very impressive city. It is the financial capital. And these pictures capture two aspects of it. It's an old city. It was outside the Roman Empire, but it developed around the year 500, and we went to an archaeological museum when we were over there. This picture is taken of part of our group on a pedestrian bridge. And the reason for taking it, there are going to be two pictures. One, in the background, you can see the cathedral. So the spire in the background is the cathedral. And then the next picture is of what is modern-day Frankfurt. All those tall buildings. I think there was one tall building when I was there, when I was ordained in 1971. So all of that has grown up afterwards. We had some wonderful meals there, and one of the most entertaining, interesting one was the one that's depicted here under the tent at a restaurant not far from very close to our hotel. And Florian had been there before, and she arranged this dinner and picked out the menu beforehand. One of the fabulous things about it was they prepared some spaghetti, aglio olio, so very simple spaghetti, but they did it, some of you may have seen this before, they do it in a wheel of cheese where the center part of the cheese has been taken out, and then they half boil the spaghetti in a pot and then put the strained spaghetti in the cheese, whirl it around so it gets all this cheese on it, and then beautifully serve it like a round pyramid going to the top. It was just a fabulous experience for us. And from there, we were off to Oberammergau, and Florian is going to take over.